Hi guys and welcome. So this is session number 7 of Music and Arts 9. So our big question for this session is can light change your story? Actually, let me show you two images or pictures. So I want you to tell me the difference that you see that you feel first. Now tell me what made them different from each other. What did you notice the difference between the two? It's the light, right? So today we are going to discover how light can change the emotion that you feel when you look at a picture or when you look at pictures. So let's today we are going to capture images. You're going to test light. So you are going to take two shots where the subject is surrounded by bright light, and the second shot will be in low light plus a flashlight. And then we're gonna explore also your camera phone modes like the panorama mode, slow motion, and all of it. And we're gonna compare evidences when we use different lights, composition, exposure, and mood. Now here are my rules inside the class. So if you are a teacher or a facilitator of your class, you can show them this. And so these are the 8 rules that I enforce inside my class during these kinds of activities, especially capturing images, because you cannot just capture someone's images without their permission. So you have to get their permission if you want to capture someone's face. And what I always say is it is always safe to use an object as your subject instead of using someone's faces or face. All right, so those are the rules. And now, so this is just a quick check, and I know all of you guys are familiar of photography and videography already. So photo capture means you're capturing still image. Still means not moving. So still image is photography, and video capture or videography is you are capturing moving images. So those are the difference between the two. And I know you already know that. Now, before we proceed to our main topic, main activity, our main game, so let's start with a little warm-up. So this is a little game that I do. So what I do is I show these statements, and then my students will raise their answers. I give them answer cards beforehand. So for this activity, I gave them 9 answer cards. Each group has 9 answer cards, and they will choose which card to show me when I show these statements on the television. So if you are alone in your room or just reviewing this video, you can just answer this while you are, seated. So the first statement is this: you want to capture the whole classroom from left to right. So what camera mode or camera settings will you use? And the answer should be panorama. How about this one? You want the basketball shot to look dramatic and slower. And the answer should be this: slow motion. I know you all know this. Then what about this? You want to show the class bulletin board being decorated in a few seconds, and you have to use the mode, yes, time lapse. And you want car lights or flashlight movement to create light trails. I use this especially when in the evening and I want to be creative So the answer is long exposure. You want to take a clearer photo in a dark room, and the answer should be this. Actually, guys, if you need more time to think, you can just pause this video. So let's proceed. You want the person or object clear while the background looks blurred, and the answer is portrait mode. And this will be the photo comparison worksheet. So now let's proceed with, sorry. Now let's go back to our presentation and let's start the activity. So this is their main activity, and they are going to capture two images, same subject but two different images. One is lights on, the other one is low light plus a flashlight. So the first photo should be lights on, and so use normal classroom light. But if your classroom has or doesn't have enough light, you can go outside in the hallway and take photos there. And for the photo B or shot B, use low light plus flashlight. And if your classroom is too bright, you can turn off the lights for a little while and then take your shot. So 6 minutes is enough, but if your students need more time, you can extend the time for them. So after this, they are going to compare the two photos that they took. So photo A is more effective because the light is blank, the subject is blank, and the mood feels blank. So they will fill the blanks and show them what they noticed or what they observed. And now this part is about a mini discussion about the three major camera photography principles: the composition, the light, and exposure. So for the composition, this is not a photography module, but so I want to discuss it in very basic terms. Composition is like organizing your subject inside your frame. So that's it. So composition is just organizing your subject inside your frame. And so I have three basic rules for composition. Number one is you have to focus on your subject, of course. That's your subject, you have to focus on it. Focus on the not focus on the background, but focus on your subject. Kasi minsan, there are times that the background becomes the focus of the camera and your main subject is blurred. So in order to avoid that, so make sure that your camera sensor is focused on your subject before you press the shutter button. Now for the second rule, always clean the background. So avoid visual clutter kasi nakakagulo yun sa main subject mo. For example, yung main subject mo is nandito sa harapan, but then may dumaan sa gilid na something like a dog or another person or a jeepney passing by. So clean the background, okay? And then finally, use space. So most commonly, what we do in our pictures is we put the subject at the middle of the frame. So if you take all your photos like that, medyo walang story kayo may makakwento. So, and it will feel boring. So kaya, what I suggest is put your subject maybe at the right side of the frame or left side of the frame. So para maiba naman. So doing that will give space on the other side, and you can use that space to to create a breathing room or maybe add quotes later. So use space intentionally. All right. So there are three camera settings that controls the light. So the first one is exposure, the second one is shutter speed, and the last one is aperture. So again, this is not a photography class, so I'm just gonna explain this by using super basic terms or super basic explanation. So exposure is the overall brightness of the image, and if the exposure is too high, ang mangyayari sa image natin is, alam mo, masyado siya magiging maliwanag, magiging puti yung image, and if the exposure is too low, the image will be, super dark. So that's exposure. The second one is shutter speed. Shutter speed, you can think of it like the speed of the camera lens blink. So if the the camera is like our eyes. If there is no light, there will be no image. So naturally, our eyes absorb light, just like the camera. Camera absorbs light, and shutter speed controls how much light enters. So if the shutter speed is too slow, more light will come in. If the camera lens is, or the shutter speed is too slow, and that will result into images that are too bright if your shutter speed is too slow. Okay, now if the shutter speed is too fast, small amount of light will be able to come in to the camera lens, resulting to your images being too dark. So that's how shutter speed controls the light. And finally, aperture. Aperture controls the blur of the background. So if the lens opening of your camera lens is large, the more background blur it creates. And if the lens opening is too small, there will be almost no background blur. So that is aperture. Now, there is what we call ISO, and there are times that even if we turn up the exposure, we slow down the shutter speed, it is not enough. So this is where as ISO comes in. So if we turn up the ISO high enough, the image will be brighter. So those are the three camera settings: the exposure, shutter speed, and aperture, and also the ISO. So those are the things that controls the brightness or darkness of your image, or it controls the light overall. Now, if you still have time, so sa class mo, if you still have time, you can do this as... No, actually, if you want to give an assignment, this can serve as an assignment for your students. So in this part, they need to capture 3 photos with the same subject. So the first photo should be under the bright sun. Second one is under a soft light. So pwede nilang gamitin yung golden hour, or maybe inside the room or house. And then finally, dramatic photos. And you can do this by shooting in low light, and while pointing a side light. They can use flashlight for that effect to create a strong shadow. And then this is their exit ticket. So what I do again is I make them write their answers on their notebooks, and then at the middle of the term I'm gonna check their notebooks. So that's it. And so thank you for your active participation. So if this video helped, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. That's all. See you. Bye.